Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about things that I wish I knew before going on a Disney cruise with a toddler. A lot of these tips apply to babies or toddlers, so yeah, let's get into them. First of all, babies or toddlers who aren't potty trained can't get into any of the big pools. There's a splash pad area for them, and then on some cruises they have some kiddie pools for them, but they're not going to be allowed in the hot tubs. They're not going to be allowed in the big pools. So that's definitely something to know, and if your toddler is close to potty training age, it might be good motivation to try to get them potty trained before, because there are no swim diapers allowed in the pools. Another thing to note is the Kids Club is free for 3 to 12-year-olds and teenagers too. They have their own Kids Club or Teen Club, but It's a Small World Nursery is for babies who are 6 months, because that's the smallest age that you can be to go on a cruise, up to 3 years old. This is a service that you do have to pay for, and you need to reserve in advance. We made some of the reservations well in advance for our excursion day, but then we also made additional reservations once we were on the ship on that first day, right when we boarded, and there was no problem getting them. But it would be best just to reserve it well in advance on your app before you even board the ship, just to ensure that you have that time if you're wanting to do a date night or an excursion where your baby can't come or something like that. We had a really great experience with the nursery. I was really nervous, honestly, about having her stay in nursery, especially the day that we went off the ship for an excursion, because Adeline has never really been in daycare or anything. Whenever I need someone to watch her, it's usually our family watching her, and so I was nervous how she would be with someone she didn't know. A couple things I think really helped. First of all, touring the nursery on that first day before you debark on your trip. I think that's what it's called. You can tour the nursery. There's an open house, and that's the only time, as far as I know, that there is an open house for the nursery. Whereas the kids clubs, they have some open houses almost every day, at least every day at sea. And so if you want to take your child who is 1 or 2 or 6 months for that sake to a kids club during open house, you can, and they can play and do all the things just with you watching them. But as far as the nursery, you can't go and tour that with them any other time. So if you think that your little one's gonna be a little nervous to go in there by themselves, it might be a good idea to get them acclimated by going in there with them first on that first day. I think it really helped Adeline. And also, we had her go for like 2-hour time periods before her really long day in nursery. She was in there for 7.5 hours while we were on an excursion. And I think this really helped her because she got to know the workers and just get comfortable with being in the nursery. And they can contact you if, say, they're having a hard time. If they cry for more than 10 minutes, they will contact you through the app. You don't have to have service or anything. You're probably not gonna have service whenever you're at sea, but it's really nice because they will contact you. They'll let you know how they're doing. Also, as far as safety at the nursery or kids club for that matter, they have a magic band which you have to bring every time, and they use that to scan in and scan out. And they also have a secret code that you set up that first day whenever you register. And at least in the nursery, every single time we had to fill out a form of what she was allowed to eat, what we were bringing in with her, any care instructions, what time we wanted her to nap, if we wanted her to nap, just anything that would be helpful for them whenever they are watching them. They were so kind and caring and thorough. It made me feel really good about leaving her. They told me how many diapers that they changed of hers. They told me what time she slept, what she ate. So I felt like she was in really good hands. And also she came back with different crafts, pictures from a princess that she met. It was clear to me that she was having a good time and in good hands. So personally, I felt really good about her being there and really enjoyed the time that me and my husband got being on our own, because we don't really get that time that much. It was a great way to have a family vacation while also getting that like one-on-one couple time. Some items to definitely bring for your kids. First of all, costumes. Like, just like at the Disney parks, maybe even more so, so many kids are in costumes, and now is the time to wear it. Bring them so you don't have to buy them at the high prices on the cruise ship. This is the time to dress up. They're gonna love it. They're gonna meet their favorite princesses and characters on there, and dressing up is a big thing. Also, we brought a stroller, which I highly recommend. We brought a small stroller because the room's small. You don't want to bring something big. And we brought our Ergo Baby Metro Plus, and it worked great for us. Another thing that you should bring are snacks. Yes, there's unlimited food on the ship, but sometimes maybe your baby or toddler isn't used to that food, refuses to eat it. You don't want them to be hungry. Whenever they're going into nursery, they only get a certain amount of snacks. Like they'll give them as much as they need, but I think it was like yogurt, bananas, milk, and crackers. So like if you're wanting to give them something more filling, if they're gonna be there during lunchtime or a dinner and they don't have like a service available to bring them food, you're gonna wanna bring something just in case, you know, like maybe some packets, anything that's allergy free. One thing I did was I brought a bunch of granola bars and Cliff bars that had peanuts in them or said may contain peanuts. And so we couldn't leave them with her. And so that was a mistake that I made. So make sure that you bring snacks without allergens, but I would definitely say to bring snacks. And the allergens only mattered for in the nursery, to clarify. Like you could have had them on your cruise in your room, just fine. Another thing is a refillable water bottle. It is absolute must because water stations are more rare than I thought. On our ship, they were on the 4th floor by the track and on the 11th floor where all the food was, and we were on the 7th floor in the front of the ship, and these were both in the back of the ship. And so it was a lot of walking around to get to them, which, yes, first world problems, but also like if you're about to put your toddler down for a nap or about to go to sleep for the night and you need some water, or in the middle of the night you wake up and you're thirsty, it's really nice to just have that water right there instead of having to go up a few floors and get some. Another tip, dinners can be long. Be sure to bring toys, maybe an iPad for screen time. Like they can go for almost 2 hours. We were okay because we were in a group of 10, and so Adeline always had someone to entertain her, and there is some entertainment, like Tiana's on our ship had Princess Tiana there dancing, live music, and so Adeline was really entertained those nights, but the other nights it was a bit more of a struggle, and someone usually ended up taking her out and walking around with her until the food came. So that's something to note, to bring entertainment because cruise dinners are long. Another thing that's really great is there's a lot of live entertainment on the cruise and movies. Getting a toddler to last through that live entertainment or movies can be a challenge. They are very kid friendly, and if you need to walk out, like it's no big deal. We just try to sit on the edge of the rows so that if Adeline did start to get a little fussy and need to get out, we could easily take her out. But we all loved the shows and they were very family friendly. It's Disney. You guys are gonna love them. A couple things to note if you're bringing a baby is, first of all, babies have to be 6 months old to sail, and I think it would be really helpful to bring a carrier for them because sometimes you're not going to want to bring the stroller. It just seems more convenient to bring a carrier. Another thing to note is you can request baby items for your room ahead of the cruise, like a pack and play, a diaper genie. I think you can request a bottle warmer. I'm not sure exactly what else, but ask them what you can request and then request whatever the heck you want, because it's going to be useful on your cruise and you don't want to have to lug it in your luggage. Like especially a pack and play, you're not going to want to have to fly or drive with that and then lug it onto the cruise ship if you don't have to. But you do need to ask ahead of time because they have a limited number on the ship, obviously. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is the room on the cruise ship. I was super nervous because Adeline is used to sleeping in her own room. We do not room share, and she's not very good at room sharing, but it wasn't too much of a problem at all. There is like a separate section that you can actually close the curtains and have them in their own little section, and then you're in your own little section. So it's almost like having two rooms because of the curtains, and Adeline liked that, you know, she had the privacy of that. I did bring a slumber pod, and that was super helpful because she was waking up in the middle of the night until we set up the slumber pod. I'm not exactly sure why. We were on an Alaska Disney cruise, and so I'm thinking maybe it was because she was by the window and it still wasn't even very dark at midnight, and so that definitely could have woken her up. Be sure to prepare to room share because there's not a lot of room on the ship. But yes, I hope that helps you feel more prepared for your Disney cruise, and we really enjoyed it. Adeline lit up to all of the character experiences and the magic of a Disney cruise. I feel like going with a kid makes it so much more magical and so much more fun. So I am sure that you're gonna have a great time with your little one, but it is very important to prepare. I hope this video was helpful to you. Be sure to like and subscribe if it was, and